Hi, this is Teddy. Today's episode is about New Mexico. Here's some facts about New Mexico. The capital is Santa Fe, and the largest city is Albuquerque. New Mexico is ranked 36th in population with over 2 million people. The governor is Republican Susana Martinez. The senators are Democrats Tom Udall and Martin Heinrich. New Mexico sent 3 representatives to the U.S. House of Representatives, 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. Bye, y'all.
Are you listening?
Hey everyone, this is Kelly with Two Broads Talking Politics, and today we are looking at the politics of New Mexico, and I am joined by Marg Elliston, who is the chair of the Democratic Party of New Mexico. Hi, Marg.
Hi, Kelly.
Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. It's nice to be with you.
Yeah, so I have some questions for you about New Mexico, but maybe to start, could you just give us a little sense of your background in politics?
So, yes, I spent my working career fighting for New Mexico kids and families, especially those that weren't given the best start in life. And I've seen how the system helps families and how it hurts them. After I retired from that job, I got really involved in politics. I led the Obama campaign in 2012 in my county, and after that became county chair and had the opportunity to see how things work from the ground up. So since I became state chair, I've been taking what I learned at my county level together and with everything great that's going on all over the state. And we're developing a really exciting and outstanding grassroots campaign in New Mexico. I don't know if you know much about New Mexico, but we're the 5th largest state in the country geographically, and we've got a little less than 2 million people. So we've got a lot of wide open spaces, a lot of territory to cover, rural areas, and then a couple of 3 urban areas as well. New Mexico is the place where they make Western movies, just to give you an idea of our landscape.
Okay. So it looks to me, at least on paper, sort of looking at the numbers and things, like New Mexico is one of the states that's most quickly sort of shifting toward the Democratic Party. For instance, in the state house, Democrats got control in 2016, where a lot of states in the Midwest especially seem to be shifting more toward the Republicans. Can you sort of talk about that more? Is that your sense as well? What do you see going on in the sort of partisan affiliation?
So, 2018 in New Mexico is really unprecedented. We're not taking any race for granted, and we're treating every race as winnable and worth fighting for. We've had a long tradition of strong Democrats in New Mexico. We've lapsed in the last few years, and I feel like we're just returning to our tradition and fighting for the people by taking back the governorship and securing our lead in the state house and Senate. And the House is up this year, and electing our outstanding candidates up and down the ballot. We've been pretty blue. We sort of a little bit trending to purple, but we aim to be true blue this year, and we have a lot of opportunity to make that happen.
So it also looks like you have just a ton of women running this year in both the state legislature level and then, of course, for the governor seat. Can you talk a little bit about kind of that rise of more women running for office?
Yes, you're right. We do. I mean, that's one of the really exciting things for me. It's not just the year of the women here. It's the year of first women. So we've got half of the top of our ticket are women. We have Michelle Lujan Grisham running for governor. We have 2 women running for Congress, Deb Haaland in District 1 and Xochitl Torres Small in District 2. We have an outstanding woman running for re-election to Secretary of State in Maggie Toulouse Oliver. And then we have Stephanie Garcia Richard running for Land Commissioner. When she's elected to that position, she'll be the first woman to hold it. We've got 30 women running for state representative, and all 5 of our candidates for the Court of Appeals are women. And when they win, the Court of Appeals will be 80% women.
Wow, that's super exciting.
It is.
I'm interested in knowing a little bit about the demographics of New Mexico. I know it's a fairly diverse state, and that's very exciting on the one hand, but can present certain challenges for candidates on the other hand. Can you talk a little bit about sort of the demographic makeup of New Mexico?
Yeah, so I was just going to mention that because New Mexico is one of the majority states. We've got we call it Hispanic population is about 47% of the state. Native Americans make up about 11%. We call it the rest of us Anglos or African Americans. African Americans are a small percentage, 2 to 3%, and the rest of us are Anglos. And we are diverse, and we call ourselves the land of enchantment, but we can also be the land of tolerance. So we have a multicultural environment where we respect one another and encourage one another to succeed.
What are some of the primary issues that you're seeing in New Mexico right now? What are people concerned with? What are candidates, the Democratic candidates, sort of hoping to work on when they get into office?
So we constantly fight for good jobs for all New Mexicans and at a livable wage. And we're fighting for education. New Mexico, unfortunately, has been at the bottom of a lot of rating scales about what's good for kids and families in the state, what's good for economic development, and we're really fighting to turn that all around this year. We have a tremendous opportunity because we have a surplus in our general fund for the first time in a long time due to a big oil strike in the Permian Basin, which is in the southeast part of our state. We're going to have extra money this year, and people are really excited about that and about the opportunity that presents us to bring affordable health care to New Mexicans, to bring quality education to all our kids, and to take care of our seniors as well. So we're looking at all of that, and we also want to transition into a sustainable energy future with clean energy and protecting our environment. So we've got lots on our plate, lots of things to do, and a real opportunity to get it done this year when we elect Michelle Lujan Grisham as governor.
One of the things that we've been so excited about around the country is how much candidates are really working together this year as they're campaigning and campaigning sort of as a team. What does that look like in New Mexico this year?
Well, you're right. That's exactly right in New Mexico. And our Senator, Martin Heinrich, who's running for his first reelection, has been the visionary to make that happen in New Mexico. And it's really been great to see it happen. Martin, as you know, is a fighter and champion for working families. He's a real advocate for our environment. And he's also an advocate for a coordinated campaign where we're bringing all the campaigns together as a single team. We call it New Mexico for All. We've got organizers all over the state. We've got offices all over the state. And we're reaching out to volunteers to engage voters in every zip code in the state. And we really thank the vision of Senator Heinrich to putting that together.
Is there anything else that you want to make sure that we talk about?
I just want you to know we're not taking anything for granted this year. Our races are looking good, but we take nothing for granted. We're out working hard every day, and we want to talk to as many New Mexicans as we can. We want to understand what their vision is for turning our state around, and we want to engage them in making that happen.
If we have listeners who are in New Mexico, how can they get involved?
We have our website, nmdemocrats.org. That's nmdemocrats.org. We also have a text program that you can sign up for. You can type in 97779. That's 97779. And then when you get to the message space, put NM and send it, and you'll get an answer right back. You'll have a new texting friend, and it's really an effective way to find out what's going on in our campaign.
Excellent. I'm really excited about New Mexico this year, and looks like such a beautiful place that it makes me want to come visit.
Do come on down. We're getting ready for our balloon festival, so we're excited about that too.
Yeah, it's getting pretty cold in Chicago, so.
Oh.
All right. Well, Marg, thank you so much for speaking with me. I think it's you guys are just doing really great stuff in New Mexico, and I'm really excited about the direction of politics there.
Great. Thanks so much, Kelly.
Thank you. I'm here in this segment with Deb Haaland, who is the Democratic nominee for Congress in the New Mexico 1st District. Hi, Deb.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining me. So I wonder if we could just start with a little bit of background. Can you just tell our listeners a little bit about who you are and why you're running for Congress?
Sure. Thank you so much. Deb Haaland, the Democratic nominee. I won my primary election on June 5th with close to 41% of the vote in a six-way race, so I was very pleased about that. I am enrolled at the Pueblo of Laguna. That's Pueblo Indian tribe. That is about 40 miles west of Albuquerque. Both my parents are veterans. My dad was a 30-year career Marine. My mom was in the Navy, and then she was a federal employee for 25 years who worked in Indian education. Single mom. My daughter and I both graduated from the Albuquerque Public Schools and both graduated from UNM, and we're both paying off our students. So there you go. We're working hard, not taking a thing for granted in this race.
All right. Excellent. Can you tell us a little bit about the New Mexico 1st District? Whereabouts in New Mexico is it, and kind of what is this district like?
Right. So District 1, New Mexico 1 is the district that's essentially in central New Mexico. Albuquerque is the largest city in the district. It has rural communities both to the east and to the west. There's some old towns, the town of Bernalillo to the north, and there's a few precincts in the county just south of us, Valencia County. So I've got the largest city in the state, and in the district I've got small farms and ranches. I have rural communities, some Spanish land grants in my district, and so I'm grateful. We have we have a big group of folks with differing issues and things that are important to each of them.
So what are some of those issues as you've been talking to people around the district? What are the kinds of things that people are concerned about? What are they looking for in Congress? So
there's a number of things. One is New Mexico is a place with about 310 days of sun per year. We are experiencing droughts because of climate change, and so I have talked incessantly about making New Mexico a global leader in renewable energy, and I think we could do that. I think it would create thousands of jobs for people here, good paying, livable wage jobs. That's what I would like to make happen. We also need to ensure half of our state is Medicaid eligible. That tells you a little bit about, the average income of most New Mexicans. So I want to make sure that we can move toward health care for every single person in the state and every single person in the country. At the same time, I would always make sure that we're working to keep the Affordable Care Act intact until we're able to offer something, better, if you will. Additionally, our public schools are always in need. I want to work really hard to make sure that our public schools can thrive here. I've been fighting for early childhood education for every child for the longest time, at least since I ran for lieutenant governor in 2014. And a lot of folks in my district really want to see Citizens United overturned and get big dark money out of politics. So that's another thing that's very important to me.
We've talked a lot on our podcast about the importance of having moms in Congress. I'm a mom, as is my co-host, and it certainly seems like there are issues that don't get enough attention because there are not very many moms in Congress, or at least not a representative number. So in addition to being a mom, you're a single mom. And do you think that there are particular